Hey, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa. How you doing today? So I am so very grateful that you guys take the time to tune in when we talk about anything with respect to real estate, with respect to home buying, home selling, closing, mortgages, and then we also talk about a lot of other things, some leadership tools, some team building tools, and I think I brought this up to you guys, but I have been in some form of the real estate business for more than 30 years. And recently I sold my title company. And so now I totally focus all of my time and energy on helping you guys understand the process. And so what happens is it's kind of funny when you've done this for a long time and you get used to those words and phrases and comments until you're exposed to them on your own personal level. And I know this happens in any kind of industry, whether you're in real estate or mortgages or closings or home buying or car buying or mechanics or hairstylists, daycare, all of the terms and the things that you have to deal with are things that you've learned through your experiences, and you forget how unbelievable and hard to understand they are to the average consumer or customer. And so I think I told you recently, but we have gone down the path of getting a mortgage, and the process, thankfully, I understand most of it, so it's been a little bit easier on us than it would be on most. But it has brought to my attention so many different things that I forget that I know that most home buyers, home sellers, people refinancing, getting a mortgage just have no idea a lot of these terms. And on the business side of it, if you're the mortgage lender or if you're the realtor or if you're the title company, you forget that the terms that you use are not common everyday words. And so one of the reasons I want to talk to you regularly is to try to break that stuff down for you on a very simple level. Hey there, good morning, Angela. How are you? Hey, Miss Pam, how are you this morning? Thank you guys for tuning in. So one of the terms that came up recently is something that I do understand, but my husband was like, what in the world is that? And he honestly commented, if you didn't know all of these things, I just don't know how I would go through this process. And it reminds me that 99% of the public out there has no idea what a lot of these words and terms mean. So I really want you guys to reach out to me and say, hey, I don't get this, or hey, what is this, or hey, this just doesn't make sense, because that's what I want to do. That's what my passion is all about, is making sure you understand this process better. We're going to make this as simple as possible, and I'm doing everything in my power to work on that for you every single day. So today I wanted to talk about this whole lock-in thing, because it may seem simple, but I just want to make sure you understand it so you can take that to the next step. And your mortgage loan officer is probably a really good person that is explaining things really well to you. But those of you who are not in the process right now, I want to make sure that it's clear for you. And also, like I've said in many times in the past, when we're talking about stuff, more than likely, even if you're not going through this right now, somebody that you know in your circle is. And so I really want you to share that information, because that's what I want to do. That's what we're going to do, is we're going to make all of this process as simple as possible for everybody in the process. And every consumer, every customer out there who eventually is going to buy or sell a home, I want you to understand what these words mean. And if you don't, I want you to reach out to me, because if you have the question, somebody else out there does too. So when we talk about locking in your rate, so you may have been working with a mortgage lender to get you prepared to purchase the property, to borrow the money that you need to purchase your dream home. And so you're going through the process, and at some point the lender says to you, hey, we want to lock this rate in. So they've disclosed to you at the very beginning what the current interest rate was, and so basically how that would equate to what your mortgage is going to look like. So let's say you're borrowing $100,000, and when you go in to make loan application, give all the lender all the information they need to start determining if they're going to give you the loan. One of the things they do is give you a pretty good estimate of what they think all the costs are going to be based on an interest rate at the current time. And so hopefully that interest rate doesn't change as you go through the process. And a lot of times at the very beginning, the lender is going to say to you, we want to get this loan rate locked in, or they may say, we want to wait a little bit because it looks like the rates may change. So they're not in control whatsoever of what the mortgage rates are. Now, different lenders do have different rates, and that's because they have different ways of moving money around in their system to offer you better rates or not. Sometimes some lenders will offer you better rates and charge you more fees to get those. So I don't want you to as we're talking about this, I don't want you, when you go out and look and say, oh, Rocket Mortgage is going to give me 4% when my local lender is going to give me 4.12. And so maybe I'm going to go with Rocket Mortgage because it's a little bit cheaper. They have a little bit different buying power because of the size, but the experiences you're going to get and the service you're going to get from the local lender is much more important. So just to throw that out there. But going back to locking in your rate, when the lender is giving you that estimate, they're seeing what potentially could be happening to the interest rates. And the interest rates are a lot tied to what happens around the world in the economy, in politics, all different types of things. Just like the stock market is, the interest rates do that too. And so sometimes the lender doesn't always know what's going to happen tomorrow, but sometimes they have an idea based on what things are predicted. So they may say to you, hey, this looks like a really good rate. You can afford this payment. We've worked through this loan with you. Let's get this locked in. So if tomorrow something crazy happens and the interest rates change drastically, you may not qualify for the loan at that point. And so they want to get you locked in. And locked in means that they agree to guarantee you that rate within a certain period of time if you close within a certain period of time. Usually they have a 30, a 60, a 40, a 30, a 45-day, or a 60-day lock-in, depending on the lender, depending on the interest rate. It used to be that lenders would charge you to lock in the loan. That doesn't happen very much anymore, but they're guaranteeing that you will get that rate on your mortgage as long as everything happens like it's supposed to within that lock-in period. So they're giving you a window that needs to be closed in. If you go through past that window and the interest rates have increased, then you're going to be subject to that new interest rate. If during that window the interest rates drop, that's a risk you're taking. So if you decide to lock it in, you're saying, yes, I can afford this mortgage payment. Yes, I'm happy with this interest rate. Let's lock it in and guarantee that's what I'm going to do. But if the rates go down drastically, you're not going to get the better rate because the lender is a little bit of risk of doing this too. And so they're guaranteeing this rate to you, even if it goes up or down, and you're going to have that rate even if it goes up or down. So you're taking a little bit of a chance in case it goes down. More than likely, that's probably not going to happen. It's very slim that it goes down drastically enough that would make a huge difference in your mortgage payment. So when they ask you to lock in the rate, you're usually going to sign a form saying, this is what we agree to do for that 60 days. And God willing that nothing crazy happens with your closing process or with the house, then you should be fine. Usually within 60 days, a lender can get you closed. And if they've locked in for 60 days, usually the lender has the biggest job in this whole process. So as long as there's nothing going on with the house or the ownership that the seller is trying to give you, sell to you, then you shouldn't have any problem with that. But that's a little piece on locking in your interest rate and how some of that process works. But as I said, as I'm going through the mortgage process, I know what these things are, but my husband keeps reminding me that it's not so simple to understand. And there's so many terms and nuances and shortcut abbreviations and things like that that make it really confusing. So please reach out to me. You can message me privately. You can reach me through my website, but reach out to me and let me know if we're talking about some things that maybe you don't understand. And or maybe things that we can help you understand that aren't things that we're talking about. Where am I located? I'm actually located in Maryland, but a lot of the things we talk about are around the country. Some aren't, some are, but I have worked mostly in the DC metro area, but I have worked with companies all across the country to try to help individuals and companies be able to speak a little bit better to consumers. I'm working with a lot of title companies, mortgage companies, and realtors at this point, helping them break things down like we try to do. So hopefully I helped you a little bit understand that today. As I said, reach out, let me know. Go to our website, ConnieFuksa.com. We're constantly adding things. We just developed a whole customer consumers page that we're starting to add information to too that's going to help you understand and get more information. There's a title company page because that's where I came from to try to help title companies do all the things that we did. And then there's also a small business owners page that we are developing right now with leadership tools, team building, developing your business, doing some video marketing like we're doing, and doing some social media. So hopefully I helped you guys with a little bit of information today. If you know somebody that fits in any of those categories, push them, direct them right to our website. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to tune in. I'm here to help you. That is my passion, and I want to help you learn those tools that I was able to develop over the past 32 years. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm Connie Fuksa. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.